It's Wednesday, February 10th, 2021. The bubbles continue to expand. The melt-up continues to get more severe. It's just absolutely insanity what we're watching take place. And the red flags are everywhere. And this morning, the Fed Chairman Jerome Powell came out and said that rates will stay low for a while, citing bleak jobs picture. This to me is another red flag. I think Kevin O'Leary said it best. I was watching an interview with him this morning. He said, money for nothing, chicks for free. And as long as we're going to continue to see this money printing, these rates at zero, these markets are going to continue to melt up. Money for nothing, chicks for free. Fed Chairman Powell said the employment picture is a long way from where it needs to be. That should tell you something right there. The economy is not recovering like they said it would. It was just probably, a month or two ago when he said things were recovering. The job outlook looked positive. The outlook as a whole was positive. Now it doesn't look so positive. He also noted actual unemployment is probably closer to 10%, not the 6.3% they're telling us. In all actuality, in reality, the unemployment number is probably anywhere from 20 to 30%. Again, this whole thing is a giant illusion, a giant manipulation. You can't really believe anything you're hearing at this point. And as I read an article today, which I highlighted, I'm going to share with you, is on the Hedge, and it's titled Debt and the Demise of the Middle Class by Charles H. Smith. Very good article. If you get a chance, read it. But it's basically talking about the war on the middle class. They've already destroyed the poor. So now they're going after the middle class. The people at the top have benefited immensely from the speculative bubble. Speculative bubbles don't create a vibrant middle class. They push what's left of the middle class off of a cliff. Excellent point. And I don't think anybody out there would argue that the middle class is being absolutely destroyed, annihilated. It is continuing to shrink. What is the middle class? It is fundamentally a means of transforming labor into capital via savings and investments. What separates the working class from the middle class is able to transform their labor into capital, while the labor of the working class only funds consumption. That is paycheck to paycheck. Debt is immensely profitable, and so low-income workers are a limited pool of profitability. And how have they destroyed low income? It's pretty obvious. Look at payday loans. Look at these cash checking services. Look at used auto loans, late fees on your checking account, overdraft on your checking account, 24% interest on your credit card. They have absolutely taken such advantage of the poor working class people. And this is why it's harder and harder for people to get ahead. It's harder and harder for people to keep their heads above water because the debt just keeps knocking them down. And this is why it's so imperative that you're responsible with your money, that you're just not out there blowing it. And many people now in the middle class are going to find the same type of problems that we're seeing with the poor working class, because they are now going to put a war on the middle class, because the middle class still has some money to spend. The higher, more secure wages of the middle class offer a bonanza of longer-term profits taken on by the middle class. Student loans to gain credentials deemed necessary for the middle class membership. Auto loans, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, even 9 years. Mortgages to buy homes. Fatter paychecks enable the middle class to consume more debt. So we see the middle class, taking mortgages out, seconds out on their homes to finance the ski trips, the trips to Cancun, the European trips, the fine dining, buying cars, buying recreational vehicles. Many of the middle class today have been absolutely hoodwinked and bamboozled into this world of debt, and they're going to pay a very, very severe price here. But here's the rub. Most of the middle class debt stems from the aspiration to transform labor capital via higher education, student debt, and homeownership mortgages. As middle class wages lose purchasing power and incomes become more precious as employers offload healthcare and pension costs onto employees and shift workers from employees to gig workers, the ability of the middle class to borrow and consume more begins to falter. You know, how many people, I'm sure all of you know people have 5, 10, 15 credit cards, maxing out a lot of these credit cards. And at some point, all this consumption is going to begin to falter because people just aren't going to be able to keep up with the cost of living, the inflation, the cost of food prices, healthcare, rent, etc. Higher education no longer guarantees stable, ample wages. Homeownership is in a housing bubble addicted economy. It's just now becoming a chip in this bubble economy casino. Debt only works for the middle class if incomes and income security rise due to improving productivity and access to productive capital. Both are eroding. We are seeing debt serfdom taking place in America. We're seeing a two-tier system forming with the very wealthy at the top and the rest becoming very, very poor. And this now is awaiting millions of people in the middle class. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no doubt we are going to see a big change in the standard of living here in America, which is going to affect millions of people in the middle class. The middle class is declining rapidly while the top 10% continue to benefit. And this is happening by depreciating assets. People, the middle class especially, going out in vehicles and financing these things for 6, 7, 8, even 9 years for a pickup truck now. 9 years. These are depreciating assets. People going out buying the fancy appliances, depreciating. Homes that produce no income. You know, people buying 5-bedroom, 6-bedroom homes when they only use one, 3-bedroom condos when they use one. You know, this is a time, ladies and gentlemen, that I think we really better be critically thinking about where all this is going. You know, if you make $100,000, this is the time to be living like you make 30 or 40. If you make $50,000, you need to be living like you're making $25,000. This is the time to be downsizing. This is the time to be putting assets away. This is the time to be putting some cash away. This is the time to be getting the debts managed right now. This is the time to be nimble. This is the time to get small. And this is the time to wait it out and see where all this is going. There's just too much uncertainty. Many people out there aren't sleeping at night because they don't know if they're going to have a job tomorrow. Many people watching this video have already lost a job, and now they have no idea what they're going to do. Get ahead of this right now. Don't wait till the last minute. If you're thinking about buying some gold or some silver, this is the time to be buying it while it's cheap. Not when everybody's waiting in line, not when silver's $100 an ounce and gold's $5,000 an ounce and climbing, and you can't get it at that point. That's not the time to be doing. This is the time, if you have the ability, if you have the means, this is the time to be doing it. And remember, you'll never regret it because it will never be worth zero. You can always sell it. Just like you can always use that food you put away, that water you put away, it's all an insurance policy. Pray to God you never have to use it, but thank God you have it. The hedge today, we must have more. Almost everyone in Washington seems to agree that more free money will fix the economy. That is on the hedge today. Again, when I read things like this, it is another bellwether, another red flag to why you better have some cash put away, why you better have some gold put away, why you better have some silver put away, why you better top off all your preparations, because another $1.9 trillion of stimulus is coming. And when you see where most of it's going to go, I don't think you're going to be very happy. It's going to go to bail out bankrupted cities and states who are completely careless and irresponsible, not going to help most people. Yes, everybody will get some crumbs, but the majority of it is going to go to big municipalities, states and local municipalities who have abused their spending, who took no responsibility. Yet they're going to raise your taxes and they're going to get a majority of this money. And of course, I'm sure a lot of it will go to airlines and other corporations and maybe some banks and even foreign countries. Most of this money is not going to help you. And what it's going to do is it's going to decay and erode your standard of living. It's going to erode the US dollar and your purchasing power. So do the smart thing right now. Prepare. Get yourself ready, because more stimulus is coming. It's going to cause more inflation, more destruction on the dollar. We're going to see much, much more debt creation. We're going to see Fed balance sheets exploding, central banks balance sheets around the globe exploding. Right now, $277 trillion of global debt. What do you think you should be doing? Should you be going out just blowing money? Should you be playing this Ponzi scheme casino stock market? Look, the sales are coming. The time to play the stock market is when everything crashes and everything is pennies on the dollar. Right now is the time to prepare for this crash. That's the priority right now. Your priority, my priority, is to prepare for the crash. I apologize about the leaf blower behind me. But in closing, a beautiful 80-degree day here in Palm Desert, California. I'm going to leave it there. Have a wonderful week. Look, take this time and use it as a positive time to walk closer with God, to get your debts paid down, to just put your house in order and get prepared for what's coming. You right now are being blessed because you are being given time. And if you're watching this video today, you're obviously a blessed person. You have a phone or a computer. You probably had a meal today. You may have opportunity and the means to prepare a little bit better this week for what's coming. Nobody knows what day or what time this is going to happen. But what we do know is millions of people are not going to be able to make it to the exits. They are not going to get out in time. Too many people believe that they're going to know the right time to get out of these markets. They're addicted. They are addicted to all this free money. They're addicted to the poker table. They're addicted to the rush of these markets continuing to melt up. I totally believe, and this is just me, that the time to jump into these markets is when they crash to the ground, and they will. So in the meantime, save, put away, buy assets, top off food and water preparation, security. We are going to see a blue light sale on Wall Street, and many, many people who are being patient, who are awake, understand that, and they are going to capitalize, and they are going to be extremely prosperous when things crash. Wasn't the old saying, buy low, sell high? Well, things are extremely high. We're seeing massive bubbles. Why would you buy into it? The bubbles in real estate, residential, commercial, stock market, bonds, all this is going to crash. And if you have money, you are going to do incredibly well, in my opinion. All of this that we're seeing is unsustainable, absolutely unsustainable. Have a phenomenal week. Look forward to talking to all of you very, very soon. Make sure you check out my Patreon channel. Posted a video on there a few days ago. We'll be posting another one in the next couple days. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification, share this video with everyone you know and don't know. God bless you all.